So let me just start recording. These are 10 hacks, to improve your communication skills. And I have borrowed this from Siddharth Rajshekhar, one of my mentors that I'm following in the last few days. And what he talks about is the concept of being well read on a particular topic. When you're well read on a particular topic, then it becomes very easy and it's a smooth flow for you to contribute to the ideas on a particular topic. Many of the times we choose a topic on which we do not have much acquaintance with, and then it becomes difficult. If there is a cross questioning coming from the other side, then you will not be able to do justice to that particular questioning. So it's very important that we be well read, and to be a better evolved particular person, you have to read multiple number of topics. Just to give you a small pointer, if you look at the IAS examination, the IAS is one of the most prestigious and the most coveted examination of the entire of India. What is the prerequisite for somebody to become an IAS officer? They have to read at least 10 to 12 topics. They have to be masters in geography, they have to be masters in economics, they have to be masters in all these important topics which can become a part of normal conversation. So they have to know a lot of things before they actually go ahead and start a career as an IAS. Why are they doing it? Because a well-rounded person is an asset to the society, and that is why as individuals, as corporates, as people working in the private sector or in otherwise living in the society, we have to know something or the other about as many topics as is possible. When you do that, you become an asset. So that will help you definitely. If you start reading on multiple number of topics, that can help you to become a good presenter, a good communicator. The second thing that is important is that you should be listing the topics that you love. It's very important that you do not put your head into those topics which you have no affinity to, which you have no love for. If you do not like that topic, don't go and start giving a presentation on this topic, because in that case, when you do not have love on that topic, your words will not come out as a passionate and energetic particular format. It will come out as somebody which is hackneyed, something which is boring. You're just doing it for the sake of doing it. So I think this can be avoided, and it's highly possible, and it's very easy. You just choose the topics which you like. If communication is your forte, if soft skills is your forte, if leadership is your forte, speak on only those topics. That is the essential point. Point number 3 is pick up the patterns. You have to pick up the patterns from people whom you actually adore, from people whom you actually feel are your role models. You have to find out those patterns, and while you're finding out the patterns, don't look for the content. If I'm listening to Steve Jobs, I do not look for the content that he's talking about. I look for the way in which he's delivering it. The hand gesture while he's talking the entire point out, the facial expressions that are there on his face, the confidence that he carries with him, the the confidence and the words that he's using. I'm looking at those things which make it very energetic and very appealing to the masses. So I'm not looking for the content per se of the presentation. So whenever you want to become a good communicator, you want to become a good presenter, you have to look for these cues, these small hints, and which other people will not be able to measure. When you try and find out these particular elements in the presentation, when you incorporate those elements in your presentation starts becoming amazing. Now, it's very, very important, and this is what Siddharth talks about in his particular presentation, which we are a fan of, which we are actually doing at MMDC, is record your one video for 90 days. This is the most essential piece I have found out. At MMDC, we follow this particular concept only because of this reason, because we have found out a lot of coaches, digital coaches and online coaches and offline coaches, they have talked about this concept of creating your videos. Very, very essential, because once you start creating your videos, you can actually see the progress. You'll get approximately 2x, 2 times better in 70 days time, and 6x better in maybe 180 days time. In 6 months time, you can become 6 times better. And the best part is, in one whole year, you can become 37 times better. So point is, it might look a little bit boring, it might look like a little bit tedious, but it's very, very important for your individual growth. And that is why I keep on asking all the 4% members that, if possible, Keep on creating your videos. Very, very essential for your own individual improvement. Very, very important. Next point is that don't strive for perfection. Look at my particular presentation today. I have made a lot of errors till now, and I'll keep on making those errors. I feel errors are good, and that is why at MMDC we follow the concept of 85% rule. We feel, that the pursuit of perfection is, always impedes improvement. If you are striving for perfection, if you want to become the most perfect yourself, then it will be against your improvement. You will stop improving because your focus, your goal has become different. So we welcome, in fact, we welcome people to give their presentations at MMDC, even if it is half baked, even if it is not complete, even if it is not their 100%, because we want people to grow. Growth is more important than perfection. That is what George Will said, and we totally believe in that particular concept. Now, it's very important that we also understand the concept of imagining. Imagining, like right now I'm into a digital mode, I'm giving a presentation on the digital mode. And what helped me initially, it was very difficult for me when I was creating videos like this on the laptop or on my mobile. And I got a hint, I got an idea that imagine a friend sitting. So when I'm actually talking right now, I'm imagining that Raghu sir is sitting on the other side. I'm imagining that Humayu is sitting on the other side. I'm imagining Saurabh is sitting on the other side. I'm imagining all of you sitting on the other side of this presentation. Because if I don't imagine that, if I don't play with the camera properly, it might not be connecting with you. So that is why it's very important I will looking inside the camera hole, the pinhole on the laptop, and imagine that you all are listening to me. So be it a one-to-one communication, you should imagine that as if I'm talking to only one person right now. Whether it's one-to-one or 1 to 200 or 1 to 2,000, it does not matter. What matters is that you should be imagining something, somebody behind the camera who's listening to you and who is learning something from you. Very, very important point. If you can incorporate that in your presentations, I think Parmeshwaran did that. There was some angle issue, but yes, Parmeshwaran, it was a good attempt that you took, the first attempt that you took. I'm very happy. Now, the most important part, the next part is about language. Most of the times we feel that only when we speak in our language, only when we speak in English language, will we be, impressing to the people, will we be able to create a favorable impression. That is not true. In fact, you can choose your language. Language should not be the barrier, because the message is most important. What is important is whether the audience who's listening to you is able to understand your message. That becomes very important in this entire communication game. If the message is being conveyed, it does not matter what the language is. And the best part about India is that we have a lot of vernacular languages, and videos which are made in vernacular language see a lot of growth, see a lot of traction, see a lot of, in fact, it is 10 times more than English language. If you create your videos in vernacular language, in your mother tongue, in Hindi, or whatever language that you appeal in, I think it will be more popular with the audiences. Now, also, what is important to understand for presentations is that you should be following a pattern, you should be following a framework. For a normal speech presentation, there is a different kind of a content. There is a different beginning, there is a different middle, there is a different end. If it's a webinar, there is a different middle, middle and different end. If it's a sales presentation, it's totally different and on a different ground altogether. If it's a storytelling session, it has to be following a different format. So you have to understand and maybe copy those formats from some of the presentations that you're actually going through. It's very important that you research on the presentation that you're making, because that is going to have an impact on the people around you. Now, the next point is talking about absorbing your mentor's content multiple number of times. So it is possible that you got influenced by one of your mentors. Suppose Steve Jobs is your mentor. You saw his presentation once and you just got mesmerized by the way he was speaking. So do not stop at that. It's very important that you keep on absorbing the content multiple number of times. You listen to that content 1 month back, listen to it after 1 month. It's important, because what has happened in this 1 month is you are looking at the same presentation but with a different lens now. And when you keep on absorbing the content in your mind, many of the things that Steve Jobs does in his presentations will come automatically to you. How did that come automatically? Because you absorbed the content. Very, very important if you want to care, and ramp up your communication thing. Last but not the least is what is important that you have to understand. Whenever you start feeling nervous, in a given presentation, you will feel nervous, because that is how human beings are. 8 out of 10 people fear giving presentations, fear giving a public speech, because they fear that people will be laughing at them, people will be judging them. So whenever you have that kind of a doubt in your mind, always think about service. This is a presentation which has taken me 1 hour to create. I have gone to the best of the best resources, and I am doing a service by actually giving this presentation to you, so that all of you can improve your communication level, your presentation levels in the days to come. So when I think of it as a service, maybe my mind will move from nervousness to actually helping you, and that will help me, tone down my nervousness muscles. So this is very, very important. Thank you so much. I hope you've got the message. And I because of this particular presentation, I want that from the next time onwards, try to incorporate the small lessons that we are learning on a regular basis. Try to actually practically, apply all these lessons that we're talking about, and only then your presentations will improve, and only then you will improve as an individual. Thank you so much. Pleasure interacting with all of you.